you wish, Your Majesty. Are you sure I can't help you with anything?
You act like this is some unfamiliar pursuit. After yesterday's performance, we both know that's not true.
Somehow, you exceed my expectations every time. When you take the stage, I can nearly taste the freedom.
Knowing you're safe makes it all worthwhile. But you need to give me all the credit. We can't forget
The Highlander! Poor bastard! I don't think I'll ever get over it. You always deny him your name, and without fail, he never bats an eye.
That's because he's too fixated on my feminine lies.
Oh, I know. Do tell me how his hands feel.
I told you as much.
Well, tell me again.
You ask every day.
And every day, I'm all the more curious.
I can't tell you anything until you clock out.
That's never as funny as you think it's going to be.
Oh, lighten up, will you? I think I've earned a few jabs. Nevertheless, I'll indulge you. His hands are rugged, as you might expect from a lifetime of labor. And somehow his callous skin evokes an unexpected warmth. When he touches me, I'm his prized possession. It feels like he's asking permission to extract some sort of sacred wisdom from my body. Sometimes he holds me so tight, I think he's afraid I'll melt in his arms.
How beautiful. What about his lips?
You can see it.
I can't feel it.
You're lucky you're pathetic.
Not pathetic. Intrigue.
Let's see. His kisses are gentle, yet urgent. It's sweet how I can feel him battling with thoughts of restraint. Perhaps it's because he doesn't know we've kissed before.
And what about him?
No.
How did you know what I was going to say?
Trust me, I know everything. Some things are best left up to the imagination.
I know. I just wish I could be there.
Shall I surrender my post then?
I'll let you know when the time comes. As of right now, it's looking like a permanent position.
I don't mean to be cross, darling. Really, I don't. But you know your attendance would render me superfluous. After all, this is about dignity. Do you really want to put something so vital in jeopardy?
Of course not. Words cannot express how helpful you are. I just don't need a reminder of why I'm here.
I'm just defending you is all. You know better than anyone that vulnerability is exhausting. After all, half the joy of life is keeping part of its secret. Knowing you as I do, I will not deprive you of that bliss.
You look after him so well. Is it really as beautiful as you describe?
Even if there ever was one. Honestly, I don't know why you're asking.
I know I just can't help myself. So many questions spring from his mouth, except the one I loathe the most.
I know. You're excited, dear. But it's best if you just watch quietly and try not to think about it. The more emotional you become, the more likely it is that he'll hear you. We've had quite a few close calls lately, and there's only so much I can say without dividing his attention. I'm beginning to believe you don't understand the strain of what I do for you. This kind of thing is very stressful. I cannot perform if I constantly have to look over my shoulder for you.
I know I can be rather excitable, but I promise. I know my place.
Talking of which, I believe we're missing the final element.
Let us begin.
Now give me the key.
Oh, must you always take it?
Give it. We've been through this. It's for your own good. Come on. Cough it up.
I thought it was here somewhere. Ah, here it is. There you are.
There's a good sport. Now all that's left is to let go.
Allude to everything. Admit nothing.
I know how to carry myself.
Typically, I don't pride myself on details, but that is paramount. You know it.
Of course.
Be careful of your dress. I've just had it started.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I've been taunted by the notion of precision for a long time. Just let beneath these writings?
As you can imagine, I'm rather preoccupied.
Of course that would be the case. If I wanted the truth, I would not rely on you.
All right. I will see you shortly.
Don't go just yet. I have a few questions to put to you. You always do. Do you have today's music memorized? I would hate to have you holding the score and spoil the effect.
These melodies are less in my memory and more in my marrow.
What about the folk songs?
I took special care.
Good. Have you stretched? Had a decent meal? Drink of water?
Yes, Mother, I know the drill.
Don't forget the jewelry box.
I won't.
Remember, keep them close but hidden. Most importantly, keep them out of his hair.
Your wish is my command.
I expect to be entertained.
You can count on me.
One more thing.
Yes, dear?
Don't trip. Are you comfortable? Ship, madam.
The sun, it's a bit much.
Sorry. Hold on. How about now?
Much better.
Perhaps a breeze might be nice?
Go right ahead. Oh, that's capital. You really took the icing on the cake.
Icing is just globs of sugar without something delectable beneath.
There's nothing more delicious than the right to be smug.
I prefer the word austere.
Remember, once he comes, silence is key.
I will gladly hold up my end of the bargain. The floor is yours, my lady.
I can't believe it. I've got a visitor. I've tended this land from dawn till dusk as long as I can remember, and no one's ever come round. I never thought I'd see such a bonny sight. And what a fine voice you've got. What brings you here, lady?
Me, sir? I should hope you would not be so bold as to claim this vast expanse as your own. I've rambled here since the induction of sense. It is you who trod this ground afresh.
I'm not bothering you, am I?
If you were, I would tell you so. Stand still, Scotsman.
What? Are you always this particular?
Show me a woman who isn't.
Are you immortal?
I am quite what I should be.
You didn't answer me.
I didn't know I was required to.
Have ye a name?
Do I really look as common as that?
You don't like the one your parents gave you.
I don't like people who ask foolish questions.
What's that?
Just a bit, I'm sure.
So, you're a performer by trade.
I prefer to think of myself as a professional corrupter. I despise an equilibrium.
A what?
It's a principle of physics. You won't learn that much about it out in the field. The less you know about physics, the better off you will be.
You must have noble blood.
Chance would be a fine thing.
Yeah. Something tells me you're greedy with chance. You wish to keep it as your own treasure.
One can only hope.
I bet you think yourself to be a mistress of chance.
What on earth makes you say that?
It's just a thought. wraps round my soul.
Oh, hush, you rogue. That can only mean I made a sorry Catholic out of you.
Fortunately, there's always repentance. But I imagine that you hardly think of it.
It is not so much that I believe that I am beyond wrongdoing, but rather I find it tedious to fret about the syntax of things. Besides, Highlander, repentance is just as frivolous as it is insidious.
How do you figure?
I don't think a swaggering rapscallion like you would be interested in such explanations.
I know I don't have the wits that you've got, but my brain's not made of water neither.
Well,
Come now, lady, out with that.
I always knew the Celts were impatient.
Oh, someone else's persistence is like poison for you, isn't it?
I will answer you, only to douse your insistence. In regard to repentance, would you find yourself desperate for penance if you were to haphazardly bump into a neighbor and soil his finest clothes with your slop bucket?
I suppose not. I would be sorry, of course, but it is an honest mistake. I would hate to be such a clodhopper.
Precisely. When we repent, it means that for a moment we revel in our transgressions. For mere seconds, we satisfied an ache long neglected, even though we deviated from the core of our essence. It may seem strange, but we come to yearn for these lapses whether we know it or not.
You sin all the time, do you?
Oh, yes, without reserve. The chance to play the part of Icarus is more exhilarating than the spray of any ocean wave. The sublime greed of the possibility that our hubris is justifiable, or, even better, necessary, produces more heavenly inebriation than any whiskey you Scots could mindlessly swallow. I like to think that these brushes with sin are like a tonic for our hearts. Repentance reminds us that there is no substance in unregimented happiness. If we repent too much, we come to resent the refuge of order, and a more proper shall have no place in our lives.
What is a more proper?
It's the French for self-respect.
You are quite a woman of the world, aren't you, lass?
Should I have reason not to be?
Of course not. I imagine all the respect you gained from your music has given ye a stately air.
Does your soft soap ever cease?
Well, I wouldn't waste it on the cows now, would I? What are you doing with those?
Don't you see I'm counting, you sweet fool?
I can bring them to the barn if you like. It's best for a fresh brood to stay under their mother.
Oh, no, I always like to count my eggs before relinquishing them to the hen.
But then how can you be sure if they're...
I can be sure of whatever I want.
That's for certain. I'm gonna bring in the rest of the wood. You stay here and count until your heart's content. Come here, lass. You won't believe what I've found.
I can't possibly think of a fascinating answer. The last time you made such a racket, a hummingbird passed us by.
What a sight, lady. These must be fresh from the sea.
You're not to touch those.
But why? I've never seen such riches before.
It doesn't matter what you've seen. Those pearls belong to my sister. They were placed in my charge. I'll not have you soil them with your dirty fingers.
And this sister, can they be trusted to look after her own pearls?
She asked me to look after them.
But why?
It's not a very interesting story.
It is to me.
What gives you the right to ask?
Probably the same thing that gives you the right to walk around here like you own every inch of the earth. Pesky rogues. What have you got there?
It's a note from one of my devotees. I play the halls every Saturday night, and my admirers have been known to leave their professions of love among the trees.
What does it say?
Do you really want to know about my sister's pearls?
So much.
If I tell you, you must promise not to tell another living soul.
A promise.
If you breathe the word of this, I will make it my life's mission to wrap them around your neck and make you pray for breath.
You have my word.
One day, my sister toddled out of the nursery with a luscious string of pearls around her neck. We couldn't think of where she got them. We asked all the neighboring women. They assured us their jewelry was safe. After that, she wore them every known for. Once folks figured out that she had made them on her own, they didn't exercise courtesy. They wanted to test if these pearls were authentic. Without second thought, they would stride up to her and tug on them. There were many failed attempts to break them. One afternoon, as she was walking down the street, a man came up behind her and pulled the necklace so hard she nearly choked to death. After that, she requested that I keep them safe unless she find necessity to wear them. She doesn't have the heart to cast away something so dear. I'm just their steward.
Does she ever wear them?
As often as she can.
What does that mean?
My sister's habits are none of your concern.
But
That is my final word on the subject. I'll not entertain your plotting anymore.
I never meant to.
Do we understand each other?
I.
It is settled then. Oh, come now, young swain. Don't trouble yourself about it anymore. You must know how fiercely loyal siblings can be. After all, we women can be rather territorial over the finer things in life.
We should take cover before it rains. It'll be dark soon. This country is no place for a maiden come nightfall.
Normally, I don't bend to chivalry, but I'll humor you this evening.
I've a cabin that's just up the river ways. I shall wait for you by the willow tree.
You can dial it down just a touch. If you want them safe, I need time. I told you I'll not rush. Just imagine what would happen if things were done haphazardly. Then where would you be?
Roger that.
Come on, lass. What you said? Thanks plenty for your handiwork. I didn't even notice the tear.
My sharp eyes have done me a world of good.
Although, I'm a bit surprised you wanted to attend to mending. Charity doesn't strike me as one of your virtues.
I hope I don't seem callous.
Oh, no, not callous, lady. It's just anything that doesn't have the sheen of dignity upon it isn't worth your while.
Well, sir, clearly you are misguided when it comes to the majesty of a needle and thread.
Will you teach me then?
I doubt my ramblings would interest you.
Yes, it would. I'll admit I'm a bit confounded by your thinking. When I walk into town to collect grain and such, I hear the women talking amongst themselves in the marketplace. Sometimes they'll talk about sewing. I heard one lady say it took away the flower of her youth. Another says sewing is the shackle that keeps her mind idle enough to dream of a better life. Is it not the same for you?
No. The restraints you speak of are understandable, but I should say that these women have forgotten some of the awesomeness that sewing can unlock. For instance, the delicious paradox of being methodical and quick in the same instance. If you get proficient enough, there will never be a choice between efficiency and quality. The freedom of being useful with only silence and trust in your own skill. And of course, the funny and exhilarating thought that should a stranger happen upon your work, they may come to respect you without you ever having to open your mouth.
But can't you receive even greater joy from your singing?
Yes, but for any performance to be powerful, a bout of solitude is required first. I've been sewing for as long as I can remember.
I can tell. And yet, your hands look as though they've never seen a day's work. No needle pricks, not even a blemish. How did you do that?
Practice.
Don't be so coy, lady. Even the most graceful people have a scar or two.
Not me. I cannot feel any pain.
What are you driving at? Are you too proud to suffer?
Suffering is an art, my dear. If one suffers, they should suffer elegantly. I am too elegant to suffer.
You are just putting on airs again, aren't you? you want to keep on like that, perhaps you should find another cabin for the night.
Constance, don't say so. I meant nothing unkind. I know I can be insufferably conceited, but I promise I cannot feel pain. Truly, I can prove it.
Forgive me. I didn't mean what I said. Of course, you're welcome here. I've never met anybody who talks nothing but philosophy.
It's the best way I know how to speak. I do not mean to burden you, but I will not apologize for my innate qualities.
You shouldn't.
I won't.
So, if I strike you with this, you won't feel a thing.
Cross my heart.
But how?
Don't ask how, just enjoy the mystery. Here,
Carefully.
would you like more assistance, or would you like to do the honors? I don't imagine this compares to any of your boyhood dares.
No, it doesn't.
Go on. It's all right. Why don't we change your aim? This way, you keep your wits in order.
Was that you laughing just now?
Who else could it be? I can't remember the last time I was so tickled.
But I could have sworn that I heard
Do
another...
you want to know the truth or not?
Christ!
There you are, sir.
Why do you come here, anyway? I presume you don't live here.
I spend most of my hours here, but not all.
I would think someone like you would require lots of bustling about. Why settle for the country?
Here, everything is so wonderfully far away. People can be so loyal. This place is so remote, it's untainted by pity or vanity. I find it almost detestable how so many can pretend to savor their labors, but I know better. The further you go into town, the more folks seem to be caught in between two worlds. This vacillating between one condition and the next is enough to make one feel like King Sisyphus. I don't know how anyone in that state can find a semblance of integrity.
Do you have an ounce of humility?
Perhaps. If I was gravely ill or lacking entertainment, fortunately, I can always find something to occupy myself.
Well, that's no surprise. You seem almost dizzy with expectation.
How do you mean?
You've never once let yourself blush. When you move, you think the world is watching. I bet you wouldn't be caught dead within 1,000 miles of humiliation.
Everyone has their place, sir, and I relish mine. I pity anyone who finds humiliation a familiar sensation.
Aren't you tired?
Yes. Oh, what time would it happen to be?
No, I mean, aren't you tired of always treating life like a tightrope walk? Wouldn't you like to be lawless every once in a while?
My dear, if I were to discover that I was an abiding person, I would no sooner drown myself in the river.
Oh, but you do abide, lady. But to what rule, I know not. I do know, however, that you think it your duty not to answer to anybody.
Why would I alter a flawless method? I always have been and shall remain my own mistress.
I've never seen lightning so close.
Besides, all that I
When you came round this afternoon, I felt a change in the air. It's like the world is holding its breath, waiting for something.
I haven't a clue what you're talking about. I'm just here for a bit of respite. Being a performer is rather strenuous. Sometimes I fear if I see another person moved to tears, I'll burst open.
So, you don't mind dodging tenderness?
Tenderness is best in small doses. That kind of emotion requires the presence of others. I prefer to be alone.
You can be tender with yourself, you know. It's not a crime.
I shouldn't like to be a victim of weakness.
It's not weak to yearn for something.
I want for nothing, sir. I'm quite happy.
Woman, I might be a Highland Casey, but I'm not the first man to walk the earth either. I watched you out there in the field, flirting with me, swaying your hips and singing that bawdy tune. But you withhold because you think sentimentality means showing folks your toils.
How do you know what I hold?
I can see it in your face. Must be difficult being unable to exhale.
I'll have you know, I take pride in my ring. I've had a great many offers, mostly from Silverton's ruffians who dare call themselves patrons of the arts. I won't settle for anything less than what I want.
What do you want?
Someone who knows enough, but not too much.
So, ignorance arouses you. Am I up to the mark, sweetheart? Oh, for a moment there, I thought you'd lost all of your impatience.
I would never be so careless as that,
Why not?
because I know too well how patience deteriorates a woman. You surprise me with your gentleness.
I told you not to be afraid. Trust me, wild one. Yield to me.
Forgive me, I've never yielded before.
No one will strike you dead if you do.
Where I come from, I must be particular about the character of my yielding.
Well, you can't say that now, can you? What's so funny?
Nothing, darling, you're just so sweet, it makes me laugh.
In a minute, you'll be doing more than laughing. Well, there's a pitch I've not yet heard from you.
Please.
I wasn't sure if you'd learned that word yet. Go on, lass. You're with me. Don't stifle yourself.
I never do.
My lord, you are perfect. When God made you, your penis must have been looking over his shoulder. You're awake. Sun's barely up.
I like to be an early riser.
I just thought you'd be worn out.
I'm just about stuff.
Well, I know that's for certain. What are you reading?
The story of Peter Pan.
Who?
No, the little boy who ran away from home the day he was born and lived his life among the fairies.
I've heard lots of stories about fairies, but I'm afraid I don't know this tale.
You are perfect in every way.
Well, now I can die happy. So, what happens to this Peter?
Peter Pan.
Right, what happens to him? He must be involved in lots of scrapes. I can tell you, there's not a band of people in the world more mischievous than the Pixies. But I'm sure you already knew that. Sounds like you know this book like the back of your hand.
I do.
You're to tell me his adventures then.
Patience, dear. I'm only at the beginning.
Well, how does it start?
When Peter enters, he is very distressed because he cannot find his shadow. It escaped him when he was none the wiser.
What a frightening thought. Does he find it?
Yes, but he cries horribly because the wretched thing won't stick on. Fortunately, a very nice little girl sews it back on for him.
So you're telling me that this Peter Pan fellow, can they survive without his shadow?
He can breathe, of course, but without his shadow, he's quite daunted by the business of living.
He must be relieved to find himself back in one piece.
Peter is so ecstatic that he struts about the room like a rooster.
Speak of the devil, I swear the foxes can smell it when I'm unawares.
They are unique in that regard.
I've got to hurry. Don't trouble yourself with the cooking. I'll start on breakfast when I return. You should rest.
The only female affair I'll evade today is submission.
Yourself.
this is an emergency.
What are you doing?
Me? What about you? I had 2 more arias prepared. I thought we agreed on the repertoire this afternoon.
Don't let him ruminate on the pearls for too long.
Did you not see me protect them? I did what you asked. What's wrong, am I unsatisfactory?
You must be careful with all this talk of shadows and King Sisyphus.
My job is to dangle, not to divulge. He needs something to chase after. Intrigue is my métier.
Just don't let him get too curious.
You say that every time, and he never does. Although I must say, your behavior doesn't help the mission. I mean, really, crying like a ninny when we
It's not about the act itself. It's about relishing the knowledge that from the moment he laid eyes on you, there was no apology necessary. Sometimes it's just too overwhelming to witness. You know it goes far beyond just...
Listen, do you want to cry? Do you want to live?
With all my heart.
Then you must let me take control. I told you, if you go on fretting, I can't deliver. There's nothing wrong with stepping away for a while. You just need to let it happen. If you need the help, I swear you'll never have to explain. Well, I needn't say more. All you have to do is enjoy. And with the Highlander so thoughtless and handsome, well, I can't think of a more tantalizing combination.
That's true enough. Without you, I wouldn't be able to focus.
See, my friend, it's not as bad as all that. You need something in your armory.
When you're right, you're right.
I will see you later, my dear. For now, just savor the chance to be subtle. I hope you've worked up an appetite.
I have. Although, at the moment, I'm not looking for meat and potatoes.
Push your luck.
I've never seen it done so quick. I would may have been finished before noon without you.
Many hands make light work.
I suppose I'm just befuddled by it. You work faster than 2 men, yet you're always saying common work is beneath you.
Well, you are certainly correct. In fact, I've never been more doubtless about any idea.
What changed?
I've made an exception. It would be different if you had other company
Are you
to
hearing?
assist you. Besides, you did me the kindness of sharing your bed and hearth. It would seem feeble of me not to lend a hand.
Feeble.
Oh, yes, indeed. I find it an extremely abrasive sensation to sit idle while another toils around you. Some women find this trait coquettish, or worse, endearing. I could be no such lady.
Well, thanks plenty for your labors. I didn't expect such ease from so slight a lad. Nothing in this world seems to leave you out of breath.
Well, I would be caught dead, grunting and moaning like some
What?
Some barbarian. You're right to say that nothing wilts me, but the sun does scatter the brain sometimes.
I do wish you would have changed your clothes. I would hate to be the reason such a fine dress is ruined.
I have never once altered the dignity of my appearance. Any form of disarray would be an attack on my sensibilities. I'll not put them at risk.
What would happen if you did?
Nothing. It will not be done.
That's not what I asked.
And yet, that's my answer.
Weren't you in disarray when I led you to bed? Your hair was askew. Your cheeks went crimson. You were trembling fiercely.
That's different.
How?
I let you see me in disarray. It was my choice.
Doesn't everyone have the choice?
Not exactly. I encountered a swath of humanity who will never reach my sense of propriety. There are those in this world who spend their days delirious with the thought of freedom. All the while, chaos lurks behind them like a petulant child, screeching until an entire street corner acknowledges them. What are these people to do? Walk along the cobblestones, desperate to ignore the racket of a clinging, overindulged rat? Or should they say, "Good morning, sir. This is my darling Chaos. Ignore the wailing, don't bother with coins or sweets. She's never sated."
I told you I'm not much for metaphors, but wouldn't there be no escape either way? Chaos is constant, isn't it?
Yes, but you're forgetting the power of words. There's something in that phrase that deflates the ego of this prattling child. For a moment, these people can go about their lives and chaos will nullify itself. At least until a new person comes along and the child starts screaming again. Those who are yanked by the hand of chaos must submit to this rich ruler. They will know nothing but a life of relentless screaming. My fortune away from this existence has inspired me to avoid any hope that disarray shall appear unprompted in my domain.
What a sorry life you describe.
Well, at least it isn't mine.
What is that rattling? Don't you hear it?
It must be one of your horses, sir.
No, I never keep them chained up like that. Ever since I met you. It happens every now and again when all else is quiet. It feels like someone's trying to catch us unaware. Don't you think something strange is afoot?
I think the wind carries with it the worst of your imagination.
You're probably right. I need a drink of water. Shall I fetch you one?
Come to think of it, I do find myself parched.
The well is just a jaunt away. I'll be back soon.
These are so lovely. I wish you'd let me wear them.
You hardly need them. I'd have to work my whole life to achieve your grandeur.
They look better on you anyway.
The more I wear my pearls, the better life seems to be. Some folks find them so interesting that they forget about all the other things.
That's got me thinking.
I'll board up the windows.
Will you just hear me for a moment?
I'm listening.
I know you need a release, but sometimes I get tired and...
You're tired. You're tired.
I know. Just let me finish.
Proceed.
Just imagine what it would be like if you appeared to him in your pearls and all. I could sew a flying dress for you. You could sing all the arias you want, and you wouldn't need to wait for me to learn them. You must know how difficult it is to be the main attraction. I'm thinking I might need something of a sabbatical. I would be more than willing to share with you some of my expertise. Of course, you may be a bit foreign to him, but he would see your pearls and your ribbons and hear your heartfelt sound, and who knows? He might just fall to his knees.
From laughter, I'm sure.
What?
Please don't make such foolish suggestions. To make such a drastic change would only be a recipe for nausea and disappointment.
Oh, come now. You know what a curious and gentle creature he is? He would be so hypnotized by those pearls that your situation wouldn't even matter.
That's what makes you special. You don't need the pearls.
Then why do you always insist on me bringing them along?
Because if I look at them while I watch you, this whole idea feels selfish and futile. Feels like I'm hoarding riches and wasting your time. But if you guard them while you're away, it keeps you excited and on the alert. I like you to be a bit defensive. You have no idea what a thrill it is to watch.
So, that's why you keep rattling around? I thought you said I ought to be more careful. I thought you were expressing your dissatisfaction. So many days you've been pushing the envelope. I thought you were sending me warning signals.
Oh no, I like to see him baffled. It keeps things interesting. It's vital that you remain on your toes at all times.
So you want him to find the pearls?
Not as a rule. I certainly don't want him to discover me. Nevertheless, if they happen to create some sort of tension, then why not indulge in it?
So you stomp your feet and perform acts of God just to make us nervous.
I do enjoy stirring up.
You bitch! Excuse me, I didn't stutter, lady. And to think I pitied you terribly because I thought you wanted time away. I thought it wasn't enough. I ached for you. realize how difficult this is? One can only think of so many ways to sugarcoat something so consuming. I can't have any real conversations with him. It's all diction. I never complain, because my thought has always been, well, if she can finally be at rest, that's all that matters. It's quite a precarious rule you've laid out. Besides all that, if this fellow had his way, I wouldn't be able to walk for a month. And that's a problem. I'm not a peaceful pack mule, and I barely qualify as a woman, you apathetic harlot! How dare you speak to me in such a manner? Who is always there for you after a long day? Me. Who spends hour after hour scouring an endless list of scores? Me. Who is forced to rock you to sleep every single night? Me. Who is constantly on guard should you wander too close to the edge? Me. Me, 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 me. Without my presence, humiliation would swallow you whole. And yet you have the gall to cause a ruckus and leave me running hither and thither to please you. You have no regard for how strange it is to feel no pain. Life just washes over me. I cannot take from it. But I must soldier on, and he gets all the spoils. What about my spoils? Everything I do is under the thumb of an incubus. I laugh until my stomach hurts, but it's still there. I sing with great ecstasy, and it still resides. I fawn, and it still pesters. I will admit, the world has been kind. Compassion has allowed me to excel. But that gnawing fear still lingers. If frustration gets the best of me, if fatigue overtakes me, if I dare forsake humility for a moment, all the generosity I know will slip away. Oh, please. You've never really worked for anything. If someone wasn't there to prop you up, you'd be sobbing in a pile of your own excrement. It might look that way to you. I believe you forget that while you're preparing for the next performance, I'm doing everything in my power to be considered valuable. When I watch you, any question of worthiness fades away. The power you exude makes me quake. You know how to wield mystery. Your talent has never been belittled. Your beauty is respected. You are admired, feared, lusted for, touched. To observe you, to be privy to such a display, is the one thing in my life that presumption cannot taint. Nothing has to be accommodated or withheld. Sympathy does not dilute its praises. To know that I can hold it above him without any obligation to loosen the full extent of my chaos onto the world is the most invigorating, beautiful, restorative experience I can think of. I don't hate myself. In fact, I'm more confident than I know what to do with. It's just, I need a change of pace sometimes. I'm so sick of being applauded for waking up in the morning. I already told you, I know how to dangle. I don't need you getting in the way. Why are you always questioning my abilities? I'm not. I promise. You do wonderful work. I just want to enjoy this as much as possible before I have to go out and face it again. You must understand, to watch him wonder is the most terrific fun. You know how much this means to me. Of course. It's all about you. That's the way it's always been. Instead of stepping to the side, which I thought was the point, you want to make the atmosphere more intriguing than my performance. I thought I was the one keeping guessing, but no. You're always wanting more, working me to the bone for your own amusement. I wouldn't expect anything else from the likes of you. You are nothing but a self-indulgent whore. I've never once said a word when he's around. I don't want to, ever. This is the one chance I have to step to the
sprinkle in some mischief?
If I were you, I would cease your fighting in my hands. I've a good mind to wrap those chains around your mouth.
You wouldn't.
Oh, and what will you chase after me?
I am your mistress, and I will do as I please.
We'll see about that.
Listen, I know emotions are high. Why don't we just take a breath for now, and we'll have a more extensive conversation once he's gone for the day.
I think it's best for you to settle down now.
Hold on. I don't think we need any more restraint. Before you know it, it'll be time for the two of you to part ways, and then we can really talk.
It's time to see reason, dear.
Stop it! What are you doing?
I'm giving you freedom.
How can you be playing with jewelry at a time like this?
You must calm down, my love. It was only a tiny noise.
That rattling, it haunts me. I've known only peace. And then I met you, and suddenly the ground is shifting beneath my feet. Maybe someone saw my great yield and wants to take it for themselves. I've just bred 10 heifers. I can lose my livelihood. Or worse. What if some scoundrel smelled your fine cooking and heard your sweet singing and wishes to steal you away when my back is turned? You are not to leave my sight, lady. I'll have no danger come over you.
Don't fret, shepherd. I need no defense. I am thoroughly experienced in dealing with roughnecks. When you went away, I went out and found the source of the clamors. Turns out, some belligerent numbskull in the next village was having quite the time trying to hitch up their plow.
What happened?
Let's just say she understands the disturbance she caused, and now there shall be no more noise.
You saw a lassie out with a plow.
Stranger things have happened at sea.
So the flatter really is gone.
Yes, completely vanished.
Can they imagine what you could have said?
Only what was necessary, of course.
What a fiery wee thing you are.
I am nothing if not fiery.
Keep moving like that. I'll have to take thee right here among the heather.
Patience, rascal. I've some business to attend to first, after which we can celebrate the silence. When we slide
Where are you going? Shouldn't they let you wander away by yourself? Lady, step back. That bank is cause for slipping.
I know what I'm about.
What are you doing, woman? I thought you made a promise to your sister.
It would seem these things have fallen out of fashion. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well. Ah!
Hang on, lass! I've got you! Take my hand!
I can't.
Come on, here.
Thanks ever so.
For a minute, I thought I would lose you. What came over you, mistress?
And let's be rid of these dastardly things before I could think the wind got the better of me.
Good God, these big irons seem flimsy. What moved you to cast away something so rare?
Well, my dear, it is the most deplorable, infantile, ugly, and depraved story that I'd be more than happy to relay.
again make me a beacon of tragedy. You have no right to stifle my strength.
Who goes there? Show yourself.
A woman who will not let the truth be tarnished.
You know, bronze can't come and save you.
I know. That's what brings we two together, isn't it? We don't like to be saved.
You can talk to spirits.
In a sense, there's a part of her that's dead.
Don't bother with your righteousness. There's no use in frightening poor man anymore.
So it was you who was singing a moment ago.
Surprise.
However, did you get like that? How on earth are you walking under your own steam?
Most people breathe it afternoon before tearing into the meat of my private life.
Now, play nice. He knows not what he does.
I see now. This must be the dear sister that she told me of.
We are bound by flesh, not love.
Is that not the same thing?
No. I would like my pearls back, please.
I'm sorry, I can't seem to free them from her hands.
Yes, you can. No, that's useless. Just unwrap them from her hands like you would a robe.
Why don't we make things a little more comfortable? Do you mind?
I thought you'd never ask. Yes, finally. Oh,
How about that? Now you can move about freely.
that's not how it works.
I need to drink.
So do I.
Everything is all set.
Might I assist you to your seat?
Oh, shut up!
Now, don't be spiky. You know very well how to use your words. Now is as good a time as any. Well, I'm sick to death of saying it.
My lady, please, just let
For
me...
the last time, no. And if you ask me again, you'll find a shindy stick in your ocular cavity.
She doesn't mean it, sir. She wasn't expecting to meet you. You'll find she's quite charming when some preliminaries are explained.
I have no doubt.
It's nice to make your acquaintance, Highlander. Forgive me. This is a new and unexpected affair.
Water under the bridge.
Do you have everything you need?
I believe so.
Well, it has been quite the day. I find I crave the chance to lie down more than anything. I think it's safe to leave you to it.
Aren't we going to say goodnight?
I would never leave you neglect, Miss Watson.
see each other tomorrow.
Behave yourself tonight, young man. Rest assured, I will always be a fool for you.
So, this is it? We're through?
I've done all I can do. I tried to protect you. I suppose I'm just not enough anymore. Guide your butt. Truthfully, I don't see a path forward. Before I forget, you might want peace.
What would I need a box of pins for? I don't sew.
They belong to you. They always have. Now's the chance to figure out how you'd like them arranged.
But you've always been so good at this sort of thing. It's what you're meant to do.
Doesn't matter now. I have a train to catch.
Is there really any rush? I mean, this is my house after all. I didn't they say you had to go?
No, sir. She's doing the right thing.
Why? What do you mean?
He is the most delightful young man in the world, isn't he? Now I've got to meet the train, dear.
Just a moment. Wait. No. Oh, God.
Pleased to meet you, lady.
Please! No! Come back! I'll do anything! Please! No!
That is, if you don't mind my asking.
Not at all. I might as well get it over with. I had an injury in the womb just before my birth. A few months later, my parents noticed I had difficulty completing infantile tasks. Shortly after my first birthday, we were told by a doctor that I would never have full control over my body. That's all there is to it. There are ways to mitigate the weakness in my body, but most of the time I sit trembling at the thought of an ordinary life.
Trembling. Shouldn't you lunge towards that idea like a hungry beast?
Well, I wondered about it, but lunge is rather a strong word. I don't know any other way. I find such an effrontery futile. Besides, it's better to build character when you're young than when you're old and taciturn. In a way, I'm very lucky. It's seldom a person can find a circumstance that adds spice to almost any endeavor.
That might be true, but I imagine your time in the schoolyard must have been brutal.
Not really. Fortunately, I'm quick with the joke. Most people find it quite fantastical when curious-looking folks can talk sense. If you can wield words with style, before people can fasten themselves to prejudice, one has the chance to be revered, even if the terrain proves arduous. But this routine I've learned isn't just to save my own neck. I have to consider the others.
Others?
There are plenty of clever people like me, but not all of them have the gift of speech. I'm not going to let them get demoralized just because I'm too yellow-bellied to speak up. Every time I make someone laugh or add something fascinating to a conversation, it makes it easier for someone else to take a person like me seriously. It can be difficult to bear my soul, but respect is worth more than comfort.
You must be the pride of your homestead.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, but I'm loved as much as any child can be.
Oh, but surely you're a source of inspiration.
Do not use such a vile word in my presence again.
I meant it as a compliment.
If that is so, then you need to expand your definition of the word. Inspiration is that eternal energy that takes hold of a person when they least expect it. Inspiration is the feeling that arises when a human being feels the most purposeful. Inspiration does not exist because I can get out of bed and sing an aria in the same day. You understand?
I think I do. I promise, I meant nothing unkind.
I know you didn't, but it doesn't make it any less aggravating. Listen, I want you to take inspiration from my virtues. Absorb all that you like from my wits or humor. Any insight that I can conjure up is at your disposal if you find it helpful. But for the love of all that is holy, I need you to understand that my substance does not come from my condition alone. I and the meadows that this world has to offer. I'll not have you in awe simply because we sat down to dinner.
I think I know what you're driving at, but you still deserve a rest.
This is my rest. At least it was, until I got sleepy. You know it now. It's ruined. I just can't live with the idea that I actually let you see me. Where's the fun in that? To say I'm embarrassed would be an understatement.
You don't really need that, lady, do you? Why don't you come and live with me? Look, as long as I'm around, you won't have to bear it. I'll fetch you anything you need, and you wouldn't have to move a muscle. I'd give you all the damn blankets you could stand. You'd never have to scrounge for a hot meal. You could sleep until you wake without interruption. Every luxury would be yours. No one would be poking or prodding you with their eyes. We'll spend our days talking and singing. You never have to test your strength again. I'll be strong enough for the both of us.
That sounds like heaven.
Well, what are we waiting for?
You misunderstand me. Heaven is for the dead. Thus far, I would be shocked to find someone more alive than me. I have too much to do.
I understand. Far be it from me to keep you from your ambitions. I should have known you were needed in town.
I'm glad we're finding strength. Now, goodness me, now you'll have something to remember me by.
I know we haven't known each other very long, but I don't think you're easily forgetful.
You're just being generous, but thanks anyway.
Can I ask a nosy question?
You've already asked at least 10. Go on.
Okay, is there anything you've always wanted to do?
Let's see. Well, sing without losing my balance, dance, flirt and not feel like a fraud, feel truly useful for once in my damn life. But that's just a short list.
So that's why.
Yes. I don't know if I would call you astute, but yes.
So you two are...
Right.
And she's not completely...
Correct.
How can you stand it? Watching her insult your way of living?
I need to find a way to make it all seem a little smaller. I can't let it devour me. Every time I stab at it a little, it's nothing more than a joke between friends.
And yet, you came.
She was going to tell you that she was the source of all dignity. I decided then that I couldn't abide anymore. I can only enjoy her theatrics for so long. Besides, what dignity has a lady who can't get her dress dirty?
I never got the chance to tell you earlier. You're quite the singer.
Thank you, Scotsman. That does my heart good.
Speaking of music, do you know that Italian song she sang? I think it was something about a lovesick shepherd.
I am familiar with that aria.
So I'm guessing it was you who wanted to steal away with me in the heather.
Well,
Come on now, woman. Look me in the eye. Don't be ashamed, lass. Let me hold you. Allow me to show you that your body is meant for more than pain.
please don't start. I really would prefer not to discuss this with you. I'll not give you the satisfaction of letting my distinct appearance arouse you. There are far more important things in life than that anyway.
Just because you're different doesn't mean you don't have a right to those feelings. Look, I'll admit, I've never had a lass like you before, but I promise I would take good care of you. We can always start slow.
That's just it. I don't always want to be taken care of. And amount of pleasure is worth being suffocated by your pity.
It's not pity. It's admiration, tenderness, it's desire.
Listen, I know where your heart is, and I love you for it. Nevertheless, there will always be a part of me that believes pity facilitates everything we do together, regardless of whether that activity takes place in or out of bed. I want to believe you with all of my might, but the pragmatist in me thinks it's unwise.
I think you know you're being a little dramatic.
I've plenty of people who love and respect me. It's not that. I just know I'll have to spend my life sifting through the masses, making sure whoever I hold dear is not trying to bolster themselves through my difficulty.
The situation you described happens to all sorts of people. It's not just folks like you.
I shall take comfort in that.
You said something striking a moment ago.
What was that?
You love me.
Truth be told, I don't love you in the way that I love myself, or my friends, or even in the way that I would love a truly worthy suitor. But you have provided me with the type of joy that I could not possibly acquire on my own. So, I suppose, in my own special way, I love you.
Do you love her?
I appreciate her. I envy her. But it would be a stretch to say I love her.
It's odd. We spend hours together, working, talking, singing. I embraced her as much as she would permit, but after all that, she never said she loved me.
We can't have all God's gifts, can we?
I suppose not. Look, I know you don't want to come and live with me, and that's all right. But are you sure you won't share my bed? Just for one night.
Oh, my darling Highlander, you are rather sweet. But no,
I hope you're not insulted.
I'm not. You are behaving exactly on form.
Trying to be a cad, you deserve to know how beautiful you are.
I know my own beauty. Beauty is like a stubborn crop. Even if you haven't seen it yet, you have to put time and heart into it if you want it to sustain you. Beauty has to be exposed to the elements. Nevertheless, you must be careful. Whatever weather you plant indoors, it must be just enough to make the yield hearty and bountiful. Nothing too merciless, nothing too mild. If these conditions cannot be met, then protect the crop at all costs and steer clear of predatory species. I can't leave you in charge of my garden. I should like to be an honest farmer.
That's more than fair. I wouldn't want anyone else laying claim to my bounty.
I'm glad I can speak your language. Here, I want you to keep these.
No, I wouldn't want to rob you of something so fine. You made them yourself after all.
Don't worry about it. There's plenty more where that came from. I have something else for you as well.
Oh. Frederick.
That is to read in case the cows roar you. I think if you look carefully, you'll take something from it.
This book looks so well loved. I can't take it from you.
I have another copy at home.
This place isn't your home.
It's a kind of home. Well, I should probably think about taking my leave. I wouldn't want to cut into your evening door.
Oh, that's all right. I can do all that with my hands tied. Do you have to go just now? I'm having a lovely time.
Me too. You know, I have an idea. It's a little silly.
Anything you want.
Could you teach me how to reel?
you've got the spirit for it, you're certain it won't hurt you.
It might smart a bit, but that's the consequence of most activities following. I've been dragged to a few dance halls in my life, and I've always been intrigued by that whirling feeling. I've never seen a dance so simultaneously flawless and beautiful.
Reeling usually takes more than two people, but we'll find a way.
I am nothing if not pliable.
Shall we dance?
We shall.
All right, I'll keep the beat. You show me what you know, and I'll guide you from there.
Right.
Okay? Can you feel it? Good. All right, now here. Take my arm. First step. Here we go. Front, back, and back. Again. Good. Whoa. All right then. I see you've done this before, Ed. All right, next lesson. Face me. Feet together. Hands behind your back. Here we go. Nice and easy. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Out. In. Good. Now out. In. Out. And in. Out. Lean on. All right, let's find it out. Where are we feeling? Okay.
I'm ready.
One leg, we're gonna go over this. And back that. Once more this. All right, speed a bit.
Come on, you can go faster than that.
Well done, lads.
Hello, my strapping shepherd.
Oh, it's you.
Well, don't look so downcast. You said you wanted to see me
I
again.
thought you left. What about the train?
You know me. I can't stay anywhere for too long. You have no idea how suffocating town can be. I've missed you so. This evening grows colder by the minute.
Leave me be, foolish hussy. I've had enough of you.
It's not like you to be so crude. Don't you remember all that we shared?
We didn't share anything.
Well, I would argue.
I know what you are. You're nothing but a self-righteous statue. You're not even worthy of the companionship of that kind, clever lass.
True friends don't let each other deny reality.
All you do is mock her reality. You abandoned her.
I knew she was in good hands.
What difference does that make?
You must know everything by now. Think of it. She's merely an appendage. Honestly, darling, she's not all that wonderful. Can she lessen your labors? Can she make sweet love to you?
Those are questions only she can answer. I know for a fact that I'd rather spend an hour with her than a lifetime with you.
Now that you understand, last embrace?
All right. Once. Could you? I knew you were conceited, but I didn't think you could be so vile. You've never had a care in the world about anything or anyone.
If I didn't care, your circumstances would be entirely different. I'm sorry, Lily. It had to be done.
Highlander, are you out there? I saw one of your cows jump the fence. What are you doing here? What did you do?
I don't exactly know. I thought I did what was best. He's never seen you before, so I panicked.
So, what I'm getting is that your response to panic is murder?
It might surprise you to know that I'm not accustomed to unpreparedness. If I can't seduce, plan B is to kill. I didn't know what else to do.
We've got to do something.
The river's not too far away.
Here he is. The most beautiful man I've ever seen is dead. Because I can't control myself. We've got to revive him.
I don't know if we can revive him. This is uncharted territory. Even if we knew he'd be living in the next minute, would you really want him to stand up, find his bearings, and see you?
Of course not. I'll just go back to my post.
What if he remembers you?
He won't. He's never remembered you. At the end of the day, leave to catch the train and fade from his memory. Why would it be different for me?
Isn't that the gamble of this whole thing? If he's acquainted with you, then his simplicity is broken. I won't be enough to fascinate him anymore. At the end of the day, I'm not very much. It's easy to ignore what I say. Of course, I cherish my powers of persuasion, but I'm not meant to make an impression. I'll never be endearing. But you're capable of perspective. You're willing to open your heart. I'm sure you know such qualities as so permanent knowledge.
Yes. Yes, I do. I've always known that. Sometimes I get so caught up in the dramatics that the obvious escapes me.
That happens to all of us, I think. Listen, I'm sorry I got angry earlier. I shouldn't have said those things. What happened with the gag was just cruel.
No harm done. You were trying to protect me and I ignored you. I've had that coming for a while now.
I'm sorry about the pearls as well.
Why bother apologizing for that? We both know that was just for show. You can't exactly drown something that's truly indestructible.
I suppose I was just being petty. I'm not well suited for difficult emotions.
It's all right. That's my department anyway. We've been fighting so much lately that I often forget my faculties. It's my fault, really. I just love to poke the bear.
It takes two to tango.
It's not all that surprising that we're at each other's throats. I mean, this whole business, well, everything, honestly, is so exhausting. Trust me. I know how tired you are. Thank you for understanding. I needed to hear that. It's true. There's nothing a handsome, randy farmer loves more than a tired-out woman. So, now what?
Now, we say goodbye.
Must we? You're certain?
I'm afraid so. He's dead now. To bring him back to life would only be a means of torturing him further. I may be heartless, but I'm not evil. I just can't imagine a surefire solution.
This has been the most fun a girl could ever have. I have an idea.
Darling, there's no point in...
If you don't like it, I shall move forward with dignity. But frankly, I'm not ready to know what life is like without you in my corner.
What do you propose?
What if we compromise?
Meaning what, exactly? It wouldn't be sensible for us to be seen together.
What I mean is, how about we take turns? For instance, some days I'll be the only songbird he knows. Other times, you're in the spotlight. I promise. When you take the stage, I'll be as quiet as a church mouse. When you're ready, I can show you the controls. I've given some thought to what you said about my making an appearance. Perhaps I can do it if I know I don't have to make every appearance.
Are you sure you could manage such an adjustment? It could be more devastating than you realize.
Devastating? No. Frightening? Absolutely. Adaptability has always been the fulcrum of my existence. If I don't bend every once in a while, I'll just be broken.
Well, if we share, you'll be able to be calm, and I'll be able to replenish my energy. As long as you keep your word, this arrangement seems fair.
From now on, there'll be no more change.
And there'll be no more stomping.
Indeed,
No more giggling.
I swear.
No unnecessary noise. Only the ordinary movements of the elements. You'll not interrupt me unless it is a genuine emergency.
I think you would find a monk more rambunctious.
When it's your turn, cause as much confusion as you like. Do not leave it to me. It will be better for you.
Done.
There's still the matter of the Highlander. When you're finished with him, you must let him perish, or else I can't take over for you.
It won't be a ride off into the sunset, but it's worth it. As for now, do you think we can save him?
We'll have to find out. I'll think of something. I can't guarantee that it'll work. Stay here.
Wake up. Today would be nice.
Hush! I need to think. I disapprove of anything that tampers with natural ignorance.
What happened? Who are you?
You don't
I always thought there was a lawn here.
you don't recognize me at all.
You don't look familiar. One second I'm feeding the cows, and the next I'm greeted by a beautiful lady. Perhaps I'm just lucky.
Are you sure I don't look like anyone you know? Perhaps a friend of yours.
I'm sorry, but no one comes to mind. Besides, I would have remembered if I'd ever had a bonny companion.
You are too kind, sir. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do.
What are you about to do?
That was beautiful! No notes! Can I try?
You're 2 minutes later. Why don't we shake on it?
There is one more thing. What about the, shall we say, salacious part of it? I'll give flirting a try. I'll manage a kiss or two. But as for the rest of it, maybe that is something I could leave exclusively for you. We both have our different strengths, you know?
I think you know that's required.
And you know I need assistance getting out of an armchair, right?
You'll get assistance with this too. You're only going to know what you want if you're willing to explore.
I'll not have him pity me. I won't budge on that front.
If he does stand firm, you don't have to change your principles. You just have to believe him when he demonstrates understanding. He's very willing to learn. You just have to let him.
That's what I'm afraid of. I'm not ashamed of how I no matter how kind folks can be, inconvenience overrides enjoyment. If my condition only interfered with me, this would be a whole different story.
Nobody likes a boring story, do they?
That's true. In my line, I can always count on an adventure. Ultimately, this will be better for everybody.
Shall we seal the deal?
Let's.
Do we each have an even number?
Everything is square.
I will have to give you a bit of training before we start to alternate.
Training?
I would rather not discuss such vulgarities in the here and now.
Are you sure he'll be all right?
I'll patch him up later. Are we ready to go?
Just about. I look forward to an evening with you, Highlander. If you think my singing was to die for, then you'll be amazed at my other capabilities. That was beyond insulting. We'll work on it.
Let's get out of here so I can boil my ears.
The technique is there, but your expression needs work. You have an knack for these sorts of pieces, you just have to trust your instincts.
I just don't want to lose sight of the composer's intentions.
At the end of the day, you're the performer, so it's your intentions that matter. The score is just a guide. Are you with me? You seem a little lost in space.
Sorry, my mind has been so busy lately.
What do I always tell you?
It's the obligation of the singer to leave all other entanglements outside the door.
Is there anything I'm forgetting? Our time is just about up. You've done good work today, so I think I'll leave it here. I left your new piece in the copier.
Thanks again.
My next lesson got canceled today. Feel free to stay here and practice as long as you like.
I'll definitely take advantage of that. See you next week. Hello, you stumbling seductress. Do you always have to say things like that?
Always? No. Never? Simply impossible.
I'm not even dressed yet.
You look beautiful just as you are. Your wits are all the finer you need. After all, it is the undressing that is the most memorable. Will you stop it? That's the last one for today, I swear.
Remember, less is more.
I think I've got the hang of it now. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
And you are prepared for